Have you ever noticed how life seems to reflect you back to yourself? Maybe not perfectly at first glance, but if you look closer, every moment, every situation, every person, every success or setback is a mirror, not of the world itself, but of you, of your energy, your beliefs, your inner tone. And once you understand that your inner world is what the outer world bends itself around, reality stops being random. It becomes responsive. You stop chasing changes on the surface and start commanding them from within. Most people think life happens to them. Bills pile up, people walk away, opportunities slip through their fingers, and they assume it's all just bad timing or bad luck. But what if none of it is random? What if everything around you is simply reflecting back the energy you've been carrying? The mirror principle says that your outer world isn't separate from you. It's an echo of your inner world. Like shouting into a canyon and hearing your own voice bounce back, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs come back to you in the form of events, people, and experiences. The reflection is always perfect, not in the sense that it's pleasant, but in the sense that it's precise. Life mirrors who you are being, not what you're wishing for. Imagine standing in front of an actual mirror. You don't wait for the reflection to smile before you do. You smile first, and the image responds instantly. That's how reality works too. But most people are frowning at life, demanding it to smile back before they change their expression. They're waiting for the job, the love, the success to make them feel happy, when happiness was the cause all along. You can't trick the mirror, it only reflects what's there. When you start adjusting your inner state instead of your outer circumstances, everything changes. The reflection has no choice but to follow suit. The mirror principle doesn't just apply to emotions, it extends to beliefs and identity. If deep down you believe you're unworthy of love, you'll keep encountering people who confirm that belief. Not because the world is cruel, but because reality is obedient. It reflects your frequency with mathematical precision. The universe isn't judging your thoughts, it's amplifying them. It doesn't interpret your self-doubt as a plea for help. It interprets it as an instruction. The signal you send is the experience you get. That's why inner transformation isn't just self-help, it's self-mastery, the art of consciously choosing what you want life's mirror to reflect. When you finally grasp this, the illusion of chaos fades. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of random events and start realizing that every detail around you, from the smallest inconvenience to the grandest blessing, is feedback from the mirror of reality. And when you use that feedback wisely, when you let it show you what's out of alignment, you gain the power to shift everything. The mirror bends not because you force it to, but because you've changed the energy it's reflecting. In that moment, you become the cause, not the effect, the painter, not the painting, and reality begins to move in rhythm with you. When people hear the phrase cause and effect, they usually picture something purely physical. Push something and it moves, drop an apple and it falls. But what most never realize is that cause and effect aren't limited to the physical world. They exist within your thoughts, emotions, and consciousness too. The mirror principle reveals that what happens inside of you doesn't stay there. It spills outward, shaping the events, people, and opportunities that enter your life. The outer world is simply your inner world wearing a disguise. Every thought you've ever entertained has sent ripples into the field of energy we call reality, and those ripples never fail to return home. Your life right now, in every detail, is the result of causes you've set in motion through your inner world, your beliefs, attitudes, and emotions. It's like looking at an energetic photograph of your past thinking. What you see around you is the developed image of thoughts that were once invisible. If you've been focusing on fear, lack, or limitation, those seeds eventually sprouted into experiences that match that vibration. The outer reflection might feel delayed because of time, but time is simply the space reality needs to catch up to your inner energy. The moment you shift within, that reflection begins to change. The great minds of science understood this long before spirituality and physics began to overlap. Max Planck, often called the father of quantum mechanics, once said that consciousness is primary and matter is derivative, meaning matter doesn't exist on its own. It's born from consciousness. Reality is consciousness slowed down into visibility. So when you shift consciousness, you shift the foundation of everything. What you think and feel consistently becomes the blueprint from which physical life is built. That's why focusing only on outer change doesn't last. It's like trying to rearrange your reflection in a mirror instead of adjusting what it's reflecting. Most people, however, live trapped in the outer layer of the mirror. They wake up every day reacting to circumstances, money problems, health issues, relationships, and wonder why nothing changes. They're so fixated on what's showing up that they forget they're the ones projecting it. When you fight your reality, you're only arguing with your own reflection. The more energy you spend on what's wrong, the more power you give it to stay alive. Energy doesn't care whether you call something positive or negative. It just amplifies where attention flows. So if you keep staring at what you don't want, the mirror has no choice but to give you more of it. To truly work with the mirror principle, you must flip your approach. Stop chasing effects and start mastering causes. That means paying more attention to what's happening in your inner world than what's happening outside of you. It means observing your thoughts like clouds drifting across the sky, choosing which ones to keep and which to let pass. You don't have to control every thought, that's impossible, but you can guide your focus. Just like a gardener tends to the right seeds and removes the weeds, you can learn to tend to the energy you're cultivating inside. Every thought is a seed, every feeling the water that nourishes it. It's not about ignoring the physical world, it's about understanding it's the echo, not the origin. The physical world is history, it's what your energy has already produced. Complaining about your outer situation is like yelling at yesterday's weather. It's already formed. The power lies in what you're thinking now. Shift that, and the mirror starts bending. This is what it means to live consciously, to be the cause rather than the effect. Instead of saying, "I can't be happy until my life changes," you start saying, "My life changes the moment I choose happiness." The sequence reverses. You go first, and the mirror follows. But being the cause also requires responsibility, the kind most people avoid. It's easy to blame the world, the government, your past, or other people. But when you hand over responsibility, you hand over your creative power. You can't be a master of reality and a victim of it at the same time. Those two energies cannot coexist. The moment you decide to take full ownership of your inner world, your thoughts, your reactions, your emotional state, you step back into alignment with universal law. That's when reality starts moving in your favor again, because you've stopped resisting your role as creator. Imagine two people walking through a storm. One curses the wind and the rain, demanding the sky to stop. The other adjusts their sails, uses the wind's force, and lets it guide their ship toward the shore. The storm is the same, only consciousness differs. The first person is at effect, reacting, complaining, powerless. The second is at cause, aware, adaptive, powerful. Life's storms don't disappear when you awaken to the mirror principle, but you stop drowning in them. You start seeing that even challenges are reflections of unhealed energy within you, calling for awareness, not resistance. When you live from that awareness, action transforms too. It's no longer about forcing, chasing, or controlling outcomes. You move from inspired guidance, not fear. The actions you take when you're aligned with your inner energy feel lighter, more fluid, almost as if something greater is working through you. That's because it is. The mirror doesn't just reflect what you think, it reflects what you embody. When you're at peace inside, your actions naturally become extensions of that peace, and the results you see will match it. Cause and effect, the inner and outer creator and reflection, they're all parts of the same dance. Once you stop trying to fight the reflection and start working with the source, life stops being random. It becomes rhythmic, predictable in the best way. You stop surviving your reality and start sculpting it, moment by moment, thought by thought, reflection by reflection. And the mirror, obedient, precise, unblinking, will always bend to the energy of the one looking into it. Once you begin to understand the mirror principle, you realize life isn't asking you to stop moving, it's asking you to move differently. The old way of taking action came from fear, from trying to fix the reflection rather than change what's being reflected. It's the kind of effort that drains you because it's rooted in misalignment. But when your inner world aligns with what you desire, something remarkable happens. Action stops feeling forced. It starts feeling guided, like you're being moved rather than moving. This is what's called inspired action. It's not about doing more. It's about doing from a higher state of being. You're no longer chasing outcomes. You're allowing them to unfold through you. Inspired action feels like flow. It's that moment when an idea clicks so naturally that you can't not act on it. The steps appear one by one, like stones rising in a river just as you need them. There's no panic, no struggle, no overthinking, just an inner knowing that says, go here, do this, trust this. And when you act from that knowing, everything seems to cooperate with you. People show up at the right time, doors open without you knocking, and reality rearranges itself to meet the frequency you're holding. That's not luck, it's resonance. It's the mirror of life reflecting your inner alignment back to you in perfect synchronicity. The reason inspired action carries so much power is because it's backed by the energy of divine flow. Think of yourself as a vessel for that flow, a channel through which higher intelligence expresses itself. When you're aligned, your actions aren't coming from the small self that's trying to control outcomes. They're coming from the deeper self that knows it's one with the universe. The word inspired literally means in spirit, to be moved by spirit. It's the breath of the divine moving through your human form, guiding you toward experiences that match your higher vibration. And because this energy is pure, the actions it produces are efficient. One inspired decision can accomplish more than months of forced effort because it's supported by universal intelligence, not egoic struggle. But here's the beautiful paradox. When you finally reach this state of alignment, you won't be trying to manipulate reality anymore. You'll be expressing it. You'll act, not to fix or get something, but because it feels natural to let that energy move through you. Every action becomes an offering, every word a reflection of your inner harmony. And because the mirror of life only knows how to reflect, it keeps amplifying that harmony outward, bending reality to your frequency. This is the art of creation without force, the quiet mastery of letting the divine work through you while staying fully present in the physical world. Once you learn to live this way, you stop asking, how do I make life work? And start realizing, life has always been working with you.